Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. I'm just going to dive into Cardano. Once again, thank you for support. Okay, big up the CoinsKid crew. So right now, Cardano, I just want to reassure you these corrections are normal, okay? Honestly, just take them with a pinch of salt. It's what happens. I'm going to show you where it happened before in the previous breakout for Bitcoin as well. Because it's what happens. A lot of the money, especially the altcoins that have been doing really, really well, they tend to flow into Bitcoin. So you'll start to see Cardano lose some Bitcoin dominance. And it's what it does. It just signifies the start of the cycle, which we're looking for, because Bitcoin runs, then it slows down and altcoins catch up, and that's basically what it's going to do, okay, until Bitcoin sort of plateaus out, and then you're going to see that explosive altcoin season, which we've just gone through. Okay, so for me, these dips and these opportunities are just amazing for Cardano. I'm going to show you exactly what have happened before. We was anticipating yesterday a bit of a bullish pattern, to be honest with you. You know, you've got this rising wedge, and you can see you did start to fall out of it, and I was hoping you would find the support on this trend line, to be honest with you, but you didn't, obviously. You know, and like I said to you, if you start to lose that particular trend line, you could be looking at a further correction. But right now you can see that you're bouncing off this previous level of resistance, and you currently turn it into support right now. So there's a bit of confidence that you're holding this previous level of resistance as support. So if we can continue to do this and hold this trend line as support, this is actually quite good, you know, and we could create another higher low just there and get the bounce eventually after we have this sort of correction. But all I want to do is remind you that these corrections are normal, okay? They are normal. It's what happens, okay? And like I said to you, if you can get some cheeky bids down there, I think it's on the weekly. Let's take a look at this on the weekly 20 EMA right there. If you do get more of a bit of a roll down here, just put some cheeky bids on this yellow line, because you can see it acts as a key level of support, you know. And that's what I say to you about zooming out. If you look, you start to zoom out, look, you're still making high lows. Even if you come down to there and get the bounce, it's an amazing opportunity, okay? Amazing opportunity. Get the bounce. You're still making these high lows. You're still bullish. You're bouncing off a key level support on the weekly. You come up, got overextended, coming back to the 20. Amazing, okay? So that's why I gave you that particular level of support yesterday, if you was to see a roll for Cardano here. But what I want to show you, you know, that this is everything that's happened before has happened. It's happening again, basically. So if I drop the Bitcoin chart in here as a comparable, okay, I'll show you how to do this. So you go to compare and you search for BTC like that, and then you just drop the center one, and it's called let me show you, compare symbol. Let me do it again. Compare. You search for BTC USD, and what you do, you hover over it and you go to new price scale. So you click that and drop it into your charts, okay? So yeah, pretty much like last year, I think we went through that sort of correction down here in last October, and you can see, if you take a look at the Bitcoin chart is the orange line, okay, and the price action obviously is Cardano, okay, and you can see that we had that whopping correction, you know, come September we start to pick up like we have done now, and then we rolled over again. But when we rolled over, what did Bitcoin do? It went up, didn't it? And eventually we bottomed out. We created a lovely double bottom down there, a beautiful W bottom as well. You know, this is a daily time frame. If I was to zoom in on the 4 hour, you probably see a better structure. You start to pick up, come, you know, the end of October right there, start to pick up, and you never look back. You start to get back above DMAs, and you went on that parabolic run, and you caught up with Bitcoin, basically. That's what I'm trying to say to you. But initially, you know, look what happened. You know, we were going sideways, and Bitcoin started to pick up, didn't it? And start to break out, leading the pack. It's the train, okay? It's the head train. It's the steam engine that's pulling the cargo, you know. And slowly but surely, you play catch up. But just before you did, look at the correlation, the inverse correlation there, should I say. You've got Bitcoin starts to break out, okay? But what did Cardano do? It rolled over. Do you see that? Just there again, it rolled over. And what did Bitcoin do? It picked up. So we're getting all these signals right now in the Bitcoin charts that Bitcoin is going up, altcoins are sort of going up, oh shit, and going down. So there's a lot of confluence right now, and we're exactly the same areas we were last year. And this is what I've been saying for the last few months. Come September, you know, look, September, start to pick up. Nice. Have one sort of little flash crash in the October right there. Start to pick up, you know, and catch up with Bitcoin. And that's exactly what's happening. So I think we're looking at a beautiful little 3 months here ahead of us, you know. And if Cardano can start to pick up and catch up with Bitcoin, this is where you're going to see an explosive growth for Cardano playing catch up. The question that's on my mind, though, and I think it's on a lot of people's minds, is, are we going into December and then that's the blow off top, or are we going to get a very similar cycle as to what we got last September into May of this year? So watch this space, you know. A lot of people are anticipating a December blow off top. You know, it would be nice if we get a sort of a bit of a rally up there and start to correct and then go again, obviously, in May. There is a reason why it could do that, okay, and it's based off Elliott wave theory. So you could be looking at that longevity into May for these crypto projects. But again, we'll look at that as we cross that bridge, okay. But so far for me, Cardano is doing exactly what it did last year, you know, and with the fact that Bitcoin's running as well, it's really, really bullish for Cardano long term, not necessarily short term. You're having a correction, you're coming down to a key level support. This is what it does. Look, it moves in waves forms. You know, worst case scenario, like I said to you, put some cheeky bids down there on this white line, which is currently 199, I think it is. Let me drop that in there for you, because that's the weekly 20 EMA, and you always see a bounce there. I'll show you again. Look, you always see that bounce there. Look, you got that beautiful bounce there. You come down there, get that bounce. You know, beautiful little retest of support down there for Cardano moving forward in this bull run, which we are in. Okay, so that's basically Cardano. Is there any patterns? Is there any sort of thing that I can look at? To be honest with you, I've been a bit more biased towards a bullish scenario here for Cardano, you know, but potentially just there, this is a massive, big, whopping descending triangle that we've lost support of just there. And what we did, if we look at it like that, potentially come up, create a top, and you rolled over. Okay, you kept rolling over, and you come back into that resistance. Hence, that's what that sort of rising wedge was just there yesterday. It came back into this level of resistance just there, and then you rolled over, and have you met the technical target of a descending triangle? Let's have a look right now. So from there to there, essentially, have we met this technical target? And you can see, well, yeah, you pretty much have done, and more, and you're sort of rolling still. Okay, so if you take a look at this particular pattern like that, look, that's a descending triangle. You're coming up, resistance, 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 rolling over basically, and you're sort of coming down. So you have found support on this trend line right now, which is good, because this is a trend line that you've broken out of, and you're rolling back to it as support. So what we do need to see is this particular trend line hold, because if we don't, this is where, you know, it could give way to a further correction here, losing these lows. Let me show you, okay, a scenario which actually could play out right now. So right now you're holding support. Do you see that? You actually did that on the way down here. I remember, where was it? Or was it this particular project? I don't think it was this project. I think it was V-Chain actually that broke out of a large falling wedge, and when it broke out, it actually rolled back into the support. Okay, had a couple of rolls, came back down, but it never fell back into the pattern, and by doing so it eventually got the breakout. But what we're looking for here is this low. Okay, we can't afford to lose that low, because if we do, you can see you're going to come back down, you're going to fall back into this falling wedge potentially, which will bring you back down to retest this trend line as support. So that would be a further correction, a further low than that. Okay, but again, it doesn't mean that it's bad, it just means you fell back into a bullish reversal pattern, because this is a bullish reversal pattern. And like I said to you, when you start to break out, you are in retracement targets to the upside. Okay, so as long as you can hold this particular level of support right now, that's where you see a bounce, you know, come back up eventually, meeting these targets after this sort of correction, and playing catch up to Bitcoin basically. So keep an eye on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's looking good and looking bullish, then your Cardano will eventually catch up. That's what I'm trying to say to you. So yeah, that's Cardano. It's looking relatively good for continuation. Primary level of support. If you do start to see it lose that support and come back into this trend line, I would imagine, you know, come to your charts, draw this trend line, this level of support, and you could potentially be looking at a retest down here, and that would bring it down to about 170 or something, where, you know, you would get that massive level of support right there for Cardano moving forward, and just come back into a falling wedge, which is a bullish reversal pattern when you break out with substance and volume. Okay, take care everyone. Back soon with another update on Cardano. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Bye bye.